And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Vaca, Loca. Now this is a game which does something that is really not that unique. It has different creatures and different heads of the creatures and torsos of creatures and then legs of the creatures. And you are going to put those together to make creature bodies. It's almost like Speed, though. You're going to see how quickly you can find them. You're kind of doing this at the same time as other players. This is how you do it. A bunch of tiles are placed all over the board face down, and on your turn, you simply take a tile and turn it face up quickly so everyone can see it. So the next person turns one face up, then the next person face up, then the next person face up. Now you'll notice these two tiles here are the same body, but we're looking for the third one of any particular body. So we're slowly turning tiles over. On your turn, you just grab a tile and quickly turn it over. Ooh, getting tense. And as you turn these over, if at any point you see all three bodies of the same creature turned face up, then you're going to tap one. Am I being blind here, or have I not yet seen one? Oh, I think we're getting close, though. Ah! No. Close. Ah! So when this happens, I see all three parts of this body here. I will be the first person to tap the head. If I'm the first person to tap the head, then I will take the whole body and place it in front of me, making sure that I'm correct. Yep, that's the whole body. I do think that perhaps this one's the whole body. Is that correct there? Okay. Well, I could have tapped that one too. If you tap the wrong part of the body, then you get a chip. And I don't think this is the head of that one, because this guy looks like he goes with that one. Anyhow, if you tap the wrong part of the body, you get a chip, which is worth -1 at the end of the game. So you can see as each tile gets turned over, the likelihood of matches get higher and higher. And when there's 9 or less tiles in the middle of the table, then the game's over. And for each person you have, you get a point. And for each of those negative tiles, you lose a point. And whoever has the most is the winner of the game. You can also, the rules don't say this per se, but you can also just let kids go together and see what kind of weird creatures they make. But that's really simply the game. As you can see, this is really a kid's game. I've heard tales of adults playing it, but I mean, that's like, oh, adults can play this too. Well, adults can play any kid's game, right? This is a kid's game, and it starts off slowly because you're turning tiles over, and unless you get very lucky, you're not going to find all three tiles of the same creature right away. You're going to find one, then two, and then suddenly that third one, and then it kind of cascades from there. Now the game does reward speed, so you can have a problem where someone who's not as fast as someone else is going to be the last one to touch the head of a creature. And so it doesn't always work, especially if one kid is noticeably faster than the others. I do see two uses for this, though. I'm not kidding around. You know, there is the game where you go around and try to touch things as quickly as you can, but there is also the fact of just letting kids get together and making all kinds of weird creatures. Kind of gives them a creative outlet to do that. So that's kind of a byproduct, and I like that. I like the artwork of the game, and I've given it to my little kids, and they just sit there and make all sorts of weird creatures and have fun with that. But then the speed game itself is fun. There's nothing really unique and different about it. There's a lot of games like this, Find Creatures. There's a lot of games where the first one, and because the speed differential is pretty strong, like I said, you want to make sure the kids are kind of even in skill. But as a kids game, I think this one works. My kids certainly enjoyed it, although I will say when they were done, they had even more fun just making all sorts of weird monsters. Dice Tower Judgment, kid approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Een kide usza.
Де?